Hello Blizzard fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is a game between Hydra and Polt on Iron Fortress, the latter edition. This is game 2 of their best of 5 series from the semifinals of the WCS Season 2 Championships that just wrapped up on June 28th. And let's see if I can get this right. Hydra is up 1 game, 1 game to 0 at the top right here. Look how fancy I am. Alright, I incorrectly said in game 1 that this is a best of 3 series, but no, this is actually a best of 5. It makes sense because it's the semifinals. You want to see more games from these players that are better, that have made their way through these ranks. So, at this point, Hydra is up 1 game to 0, but there's a long way to go. Players have to win 3 games to actually move on to the finals. So we'll see if Polt has it in him to actually deal with Hydra's attacks. He's a very aggressive Zerg player, does not really like to sit back. I guess we did see a little bit of that in game number 1. He did have a kind of a Baneling counterattack ready. He kind of crushed that final push from Polt and then moved out across the map, got right up with the Mutalisks onto that front door of the natural base, and that was pretty much it. So a lot of Zerg players will kind of try to bleed the Terran out, but I think Hydra has a little bit more of an aggressive mindset. Either way, he is an amazing player. I remember back, when was it, 2013, 2012 or so, he was just the terror of Zergs everywhere. He'd figured out this positioning thing where he would get Marines, Marauders, and tanks kind of up against walls as best as he could. And then you couldn't get that surround with the Zerglings and the Banelings coming on in to deal with that. So in the end, he was very, very scary. The Reaper popping out now. As I take a quick drink from my mug here, we're going to go ahead and slow things down because Reaper attacks are pretty interesting. Looks like, though, 6 things are coming out. Hydra should be able to handle this, no problem. And yeah, the Reaper comes in just as soon as those Lings pop. Wow. Look at that timing from Hydra. And now the Lings are doing a good job staying on the creep. That's what you want to do as a Zerg player. You have the speed boost advantage on the creep with these slow Lings, and even if they're slow, they're still faster than the Reaper, unless they go off the creep, at which case the Reaper can kite them forever and murder their little Zerg bodies all over the ground. So just kind of popping around the Reaper, trying to get some harassment off, but no, the Queen has now popped. The Reaper has to run away. A second Queen is here at the natural. The Reaper has not really done what he can do. Didn't even really get a good scout off. Now just patrolling to see if any Lings are going to come up to try to do some scouting so he can pick them off, but I think Hydra's a little bit too smart for that. Whew, excuse me, I don't know what is going on with my throat today. Actually, okay, and we're back. Creep tumor popping out from that Queen. Hellions coming out, fairly standard stuff again, but whoa, 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 double command center now for Polt. 1 and 2 big fat command centers on their way, assuming to go here and to here. Those are pretty much the places that Terran like to land those guys for that extra income. But yep, now heading on out. There are a couple Lings scouting this out, going to see what's going on with that command center and the timing there. These Lings now have speed and they're chasing that Reaper around, but he's abusing the ability to jump up and down cliffs to stay alive just as long as he possibly can. Wow, look at this micro from Polt, just amazing stuff. And the Hellions come out. The Reaper is still alive. Good job, buddy. It's a bit of a Reaper and Hellion combo here from harassment. But it looks like we actually have a Roach Warren just about to finish from Hydra. That's a good answer, both to Reapers and to Hellions. So what's going on? Hellions coming up. Ah, okay. The Lings are doing a little bit of harassment, but I don't think they actually killed anything, did they? No, nothing has been lost for Polt. They just kind of poked at these SCVs. The SCV in favor for saving his life is actually repairing the Hellion here. Very nice of him. Overlord, good positioning here to check for army units that are coming from Polt. Another one here, just making sure no drops can come across this area. Although I suppose this area is pretty much unobserved if you want to send a medevac over there. Looks like, yeah, we are going bio right here. Barracks, factory making another reactor that might get swapped off somewhere else. The Hellions are kind of poking in, but again, there are roaches. Where are these roaches? A roach popping out now. Yeah, just 1. 2 evolution chambers coming up to prepare a bit of a wall for those Hellions to get around if they want to swoop in past this Roach push. And yeah, here we go. Roaches pushing on up the front here. They have no upgrades. There's no speed, no +1/+1 yet, but it looks like Hydra just trying to be impatient, there we go, trying to make sure this base gets up and healthy and saturated, which is an amazing play by him. So the Roaches pop on up, and they manage to snipe the SCV, who is killing that, or who is making that bunker. Well played by him. Another SCV comes off the line. Is going to get killed, but no. The Roaches pull away, but oh no, the SCV gets stuck on the outside. Thank you for making that bunker, Mr. SCV, but now you are going to die. Say the Marines inside the bunker. They have a fallback position as well, and I think that's enough. Yeah, Hydra says I'm going to get the heck out of here. There is no use trying to break this wall. I got my third base and running, and I'm pretty much droning like crazy right now. 6 drones in production and upgrading to a lair. And meanwhile, the Terran player is pretty scared to move out. He doesn't really want to unload this bunker. He knows there are Roaches out there. Widow Mines are in good positions. But at the same time, I don't think... Yeah, it looks like Polt doesn't feel like he has map control yet, despite the fact that he has these Hellions, because I think there are enough Speedlings out to deal with them. The 3rd command center has just been used to make mules. Make SCVs, get that economic advantage up. Oh, and a good surround on those... Oh, huge surround on those Hellions by those Zerglings, killing both of them. And how many Hellions are left? 0 whatsoever. So Polt has no map control to speak of. He is in a very difficult position. The Zerg player now has 60 drones. He's pretty much been able to drone up as much as he wants. No big deal to him. No drones. Have any drones been killed? No drones have been killed by Polt. That is just a recipe for death. I don't know what we're going to see here. Widow Mines popping on out, getting a good spread. The Zerglings try to get out of there, and yes, they moved out of range just barely. Well played by them. The Marine Marauders poke them out of the way. I think maybe just to prepare the way for this, yep, the 3rd base to land over here. It is being scouted, though. This Overlord, I think, can see it when it lands. We'll have to see what happens there. Marines and Marauders popping up into this place to defend both the natural and the 3rd base if they possibly can. But what is going on back home with... okay, it's going to be +1 Carapace, +1 missile attacks, and Glial Reconstitution. It is going to be a Roach timing, ladies and gentlemen, from Hydra. He's at 61 Harvesters. He has 3 bases. His injects have just been insane. How much larva does he have? Yeah, just basically 2 at this point. No, that's a changeling. 6 larvae right now. He's been using them as much as possible. His injects have all just been amazing. All 3 hatcheries are spawning eggs at this very moment. And yes, here come the Roaches. +1 speed, about to finish all at the same time. Hydra has this timing attack down to a science. The 3rd base is basically up, though. Polt, if he's on 3 base and going to be allowed to stay there, is going to be very, very scary for Hydra to deal with, especially after sunk all this money into these Roaches. But here they come right on up here, and the Widow Mine is going to get some big shots off. Yes, almost killing one. The second one does kill another one, but the Roaches do not care. They are here. They have +1/+1. They can survive those hits from the Widow Mines popping on up. They snipe down the bunker immediately, getting right on up here into the natural, killing the SCV who is building this factory, getting up this ramp. The SCVs are trying to block, but no, the Roaches are too tough for them. These Marines doing what they can to kill them, killing reinforcements of these Marines and Marauders at the backside, but no, splitting off a small group of Roaches at the back to deal with these guys from the behind, and leaving the Roaches at the front to deal all this damage to the production line for Polt. And that is it. Polt calls the GG. Hydra is victorious, and Hydra takes a 2-0 lead in this best-of-5 series. Wow, what an amazing +1/+1 speed Roaches timing attack there. Didn't even bring any lings, didn't have any banelings. Smashed that front door with nothing but Roaches. He knew the Widow Mines couldn't stop him. He knew there were no Hellions on the field. Obviously, I guess that didn't really matter, though. But the number of Marauders was just not enough. The number of units in general was just not enough for Polt, and that was it. So thank you so much for watching this cast. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Blizzard upload. If you like what you heard today, if you like what you saw, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. You can also catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.